the Zoom master. Thank you. Welcome to Leadership Speak, an advanced Toastmaster club for leadership development. We are one of the top 5 clubs globally. I'm Toastmaster Atul, and I'm your Sergeant at Arms today. At Toastmaster, I'll be reading the Toastmaster Club mission. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered through communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is a premium club for experienced Toastmasters to become better self-directed leaders. We are in an advanced club focused primarily on leadership development in everything. Our timer has virtual hand raised so we all can immediately see who is keeping the time. I hope the timer is having the virtual hand raised. Can you come from the same place? Our TMOD will be lead our meeting is none other than Baron, Toastmaster Baron, who is always active, vigorous, who is known to many of us. Maybe I'm in few meetings, but I know him even in District 114 as well as in Leadership Speak. He's been a great support to me. So before I welcome him, so Baron Oematum is a dynamic leader with extensive experience in public speaking, leadership and communication as a committee member in Leadership Speak, previously in Lubowo Toastmasters Club and charter president of Rotary Club of YMCA. Baron has demonstrated his ability to inspire and mentor the emerging leaders. His expertise spans public speaking, branding, marketing, and event coordination. Baron also is skilled in content creation, graphic design, and strategic planning, making him a sought after speaker in both professional and community spaces. So let us welcome. So let us welcome, and please help me to welcome your TMOD, Toastmaster Baron. Let us unmute ourselves and clap for him. Thank you. And as to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Toastmaster Atul. I am delighted to be the Toastmaster of the Day for a meeting that carries on tradition for Leadership Speak. Why do I say today's meeting carries on tradition? The first element is the background that you see with just about every member in the room and all the guests, and that is the Men in Black theme. Every last Saturday of every September, we host a Men in Black themed meeting, and this is purposefully to talk about certain principles of leadership, like change. The Men in Black from the movie Men in Black embody change, embody dynamism. In a world where aliens are attacking, there are new challenges, and we have to deal with it. But along with that, they embody fun. Now, I might have said it slow, but it is fun, right? Fun. And as leaders, it is key that we have fun, because when we have fun, then we do not lose sense of the bigger picture. So often we get caught up in the details. This is not working, that is not working, this is not working, and we forget about having fun. This is an important element of leadership, that we are able to throw a party and have all our colleagues join in and celebrate life. It is an honor, once again, to be the Toastmaster of the Day today. Before we get started, I would like to inform the guests that we have a guest book that is going to be shared in the chat. And you can fill in details there for us to get in touch with you if you would like to get to know more about Leadership Speak and eventually join. But besides that, we can have some interaction as well. So if we can have 1 or 2 guests just say where they are joining in from and what they expect today. And while we have guests do that, Timer, Rose, Odundo, I request that you put your virtual hand up such that you are the first person everybody sees on the screen. Any guests, you can put your hand up and I will pick up from there. Well, that was our timer. Nazim, I suppose that you are a guest. Could you say one or two things that you expect from today's meeting?
I would assume that it will be the most exciting, most joyful, and most contemplative time to really realize what changes we are facing today in society. So with that in mind, I'll hope that everyone will have new insight in today's presentation.
Thank you. For today, I will call you Agent Nazim because you have put that right. You are welcome to the Men in Black universe.
Thank you very much. And I want to thank Bram for inviting me consistently.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we'll have a segment at the end of the meeting where Bram will have the opportunity to interact with you and all the guests in the room. So please stay for that section. All right. With that being said, I'm just going to share about what to expect in today's meeting. First things first, the toast that we shall have soon. Then the leadership speaker, the leadership education speaker, sharing nuggets to the theme of the day. Then we shall have 4 prepared speakers after the leadership speaker, after which we shall transition into the evaluation segment. To start us off is our toast speaker. And what's the point of having a party if we are not going to toast Toastmasters and guests? Join me in welcoming Toastmaster Elena Constantinou, who said about her toast, she would like to encourage the audience to not shy away from linking their goals to having fun. Over to you, Toastmaster Elena. Zoom Master. All right, Zoom Master, Rick. Perfect, over to you.
I see a room full of agents of change. You are all leading transformations in business, public organizations, NGOs, and your personal lives. I'm not here to tell you what you already know. You're coaches, consultants, professional, parents. You know change. What might be one thing you don't know or don't use very often? What is that one elusive element of change we all wished we managed better? My proposition? Numbers, metrics, evidence. Let's talk about KPIs, the financial and operational key performance indicators that measure the effectiveness of your change management program. When you become agents of change, the soft results are immediately obvious. Great things happen and everyone can see it and feel it. But can the organization measure it, prove its impact? Is the CEO convinced to authorize more projects with you on the steering wheel? I've been working with change for 25 years. I teach it, I coach it, I embody it, I consult organizations, I thrive on change. Last month, I had an aha moment whilst designing a significant change management program for a large organization. I paused when my partner asked, Elena, how do we link our team performance indicators with the financial key performance indicators of our client. So then I started researching and thinking about it. And I'm here to offer you 3 important findings, because we want to use as few bullets as possible in order to reach the target, right? So what's number 1? I believe that KPIs should be smart. And you know SMART, right? But let's focus specifically on the measurable and the specific and choose wisely. What could be a number 2? I also feel that KPIs should be progressive, should be like a chain, like you're weaving from one to the next. So when we enter a process of change, how do we measure and define the correct performance metrics in the beginning, the middle, and the end of a project? We could start with, what would be one example? Measurements of employee engagement, right? And then this can lead to time to productivity, which can culminate to task completion time. You see where I'm going with the specific and the measurable and the weaving. And third, we can ask the project sponsor to work closely with us in selecting the right KPIs to track and communicate change. So I urge you to run this exercise as an agent of change yourself. Select those 3 KPIs, match your work carefully with them, and involve your sponsor in celebrating completed milestones. Now, let's please unmute, raise our glass confidently, and toast in one voice to change KPIs.
Change KPIs.
KPIs.
Enjoy the meeting.
Thank you for the wonderful toast, Toastmaster Elena, to change KPIs. And now I would like to call upon our timer of the day, Toastmaster Rose Odundo, to share the timing protocols for today's meeting.
Good morning, good afternoon. I will time according to the agenda. I will display the green card, the yellow card, and the red card. When called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, at the end of the session, I will post the timing in the chat. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rose. Men in black, women in black, the grammarian of the day, none other than Toastmaster Paula Toza.
Good day, fellow Toastmasters, Mr. Toastmaster, and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is transformation, which means a complete change in the appearance or character of something or someone. Used in a sentence, this word is: transformation happens when we learn and grow, one of the main components of leadership speak. I will also be making note of all of these things and giving a report at the end of the meeting when called upon. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Agent Paula. As a social entrepreneur. The next speaker's journey has been joyful, especially because she has been an agent of change. Thundering, right? Thundering in her feet to inspire people. Her speech is going to be to help self-directed leaders become more of agents of change. And that is going to be our leadership speaker, Toastmaster Jyothi Thomas, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Claudette Thomas. Toastmaster Claudette, please share the protocols, the objectives of Agent Jyothi's speech.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Jyothi will be speaking from the Dynamic Leadership Path, Level 5, Prepare to Speak Professionally. The purpose of this project is for Jyothi to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Fantastic. Toastmaster Jyothi, unstoppable. Unstoppable Jyothi Thomas. Over to you. You are muted.
You're muted.
Jyothi, you are muted.
A happy place is a happening place. All of us know about that, don't we? Just take a look at this monitor. The screen is filled with happy faces. Happy faces that clearly show transformation. Because it's a journey filled with enjoyment, fun. As Ralph C. Smedley said, we learn best in moments of enjoyment. We're unstoppable as self-directed leaders. We're unstoppable because we are agents of change. Well, if I was to ask all of you, when we think of leaders, what is the image that comes to our mind? Perhaps it's the power, or it's a serious grin. Now here we flip the entire perspective. What if we viewed us, look at Leadership Speak members right here. Like Men in Black, we are the leaders. Who are the change agents? We know how to enjoy our journey. Today you see all of us dressed to kill. There is very clearly a statement. It's a journey that we're going to talk about how we as leaders are taking our paths through. When we talk about agents of change, I read in this magazine that there was a research done by the University of Warwick. Happiness can increase productivity 12%. Now, getting prepared for a day like this, at Leadership Speak, oh, were we happy. Take a look at the background, the way we dressed up. And it wasn't just to dress up. We were ready with what we wanted to present. When we have a task at hand, there's a joy which automatically brings in the transformation. We become an agent for change. What do? There are different kinds of agents. There are 4. It's always spoken about. Emotional champion, developmental strategist, intuitive adapter, continuous improver. Now, fellow Toastmasters and self-directed leaders, we here fall in all these categories. Maybe we are in different places at different times, but however, we have it all in us. Today, the 4 types of change agents is what we are showcasing here. If I was to ask, What type of change did you bring into your leadership growth here? Inside and beyond, we always talk about whatever we do at Toastmasters here at the club should be taken beyond the club. My favorite quote, we are not a 7-minute Toastmaster. We can smile with dark glasses too, because we're quite cool. Thank you very much, Youselee. And our grammarian. Now, it was very interesting while I was reading. We prioritize positivity and motivate. We have our ups and downs like every other club, but yet our Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's very interesting for every guest here to know we don't just meet on a Saturday. Tuesdays and Thursdays are our journey of fun where we learn, we prepare, and we transform. Yes, there's a dose of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. However, that is the place you find the transformation happening as change agents sit there and help us through to move ahead. A change agent is somebody who will take his entire clan forward. I understand through reading, we get so much. And today's particular topic transformed my entire research. While I read, a week wasn't enough for me to even present this. Satya Nadella of Microsoft was interesting to read. He was a developmental strategist, and his approach, I understand, is know it all to learn it all, emphasizing continuous learning. How many of us are in that path? Do we even know? When was the last time we looked at ourselves to see where am I? When we look at all that we do, at every path, we have the types of leadership and communication. And that's precisely what we have been giving so much of weightage right here at Leadership Speak. We always emphasize to connect the type of leadership and communication. And that is precisely what an agent of change brings in, which is you and I. Starbucks, interestingly, the company is an emotional champion. How many of us, let's see on the chat box if you can say, are you an emotional champion? An emotional champion, what is that? Do we do a psychometric test? Or we just know the way we approach our members, our mentorship groups, we can reach out to anybody. You always have a hand that is there ready to hold and guide you. Isn't that what leaders in black do? It's not just men in black, but look at us. When we talk about the changes, today doesn't have to be necessarily a PowerPoint presentation because we are showcasing leaders in black, agents of change. Is there a method? How do we go about it? What is it that we do gives the transformation? While I was researching, I found out Cone Corporation. They apparently make sure involvement, promotion, culture of inclusivity and adaptability, bling. That's precisely what we have here. Inclusivity, adaptability. Resilience and adaptability are the key skills for leaders in black, agents of change. While we look at all this, it's very important to know balancing and enjoying leadership is the way forward. What is different here at leadership? It's okay what they say at the universities, 12% increase when people are happy. Here, the work we do is the one that accelerates our growth. When we are asked about our vision, our educational goals, yes, there's a target set, probably, but we do it because we enjoy doing it. When we see leadership speak right on top, how many clubs come to us to ask, how did you do it? That is a mark to say, we have set the ball rolling. We have shown to the others that we are change agents. The culture of this club across the globe brings the positivity. We talk about various cultures. We talk about what we do at workplace. How do we take it forward? And as a change agent, we excel with the presentation on our HPLs. We have role models. So what is the definition of change agent? How are we going to look at it? When we talk about the blend, are we only saying it's just one person who's connected and the other person just does it? No. How often do we see for one speech, 5, 10 people saying, I will suggest? Yes, sometimes it can be scary. Nonetheless, transformation is the word. With every member of our leadership speak club, there is a push, a nudge, and a support. Is that what we're talking about? Precisely. We can go on. The day will go by. When we talk about being a change agent, let us ask, are we somebody, or can you call yourself a leader who knows to communicate, contribute? Do you know responsibility? Are we motivated? Is there a vision? These are the components that drives us to be the change agent. We can now showcase as the agent H, agent B, but that is the power that we see. I would like to think about it as a reflection. A week is never enough to talk about what we do at the club or about the 4 agents of change. What do we do? How do we do it? Are we able to take it beyond? Is my call. I had a lot of sleepless nights, not because I didn't know what to do, but there was so much that you transform to being the true leader, looking at every role model out there. Leadership Speak stands truly as a leader who are change agents. Integrity in place. So while we talk about it, I would like to say, if not now, then when? I will leave you to think, contemplate, and find out. Are you an emotional champion? Are you a developmental strategist? Are you intuitive? Do you keep learning continuously to improve? While an emotional champion always influences and uses the EI, they to rely on vision for change. They connect with others. Exactly what we're doing right here. While we talk about all this, let's remember to see where we stand. My dear fellow Toastmasters and lovely guests, take a guess. Put it down in the chat. Are you emotional, developmental, intuitive, or a continuous improver? With that thought, I would like to leave you all with a note. Blend beautifully, bring the C's, resilience, empowerment, the leadership way, the leadership Toastmasters way, leadership speak Toastmasters way, inspiring people around us, making sure that every member thrives. With that, cheers to the entire agent of change right here. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
At the end of it, the question being, like you have heard from Agent J, are you an agent of change? Toastmasters and guests, we are moving on to our first speaker. And our first speaker is Agent H, Agent Hannah Schmidt, who is going to be evaluated by Agent D. Agent D is Toastmaster Daniel Odero. Agent H is, and I will say this really clearly, Agent H is a member of Leadership Speak and especially Leaders in Black. Agent H's duty is to excel and protect. Agent D, would you please share objective of Toastmaster Hannah's?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Today we have the pleasure of listening to Hannah Smith. Hannah is following the dynamic leadership path and the project one, which is understanding your leadership style. The purpose of this project is for Hannah to identify her primary leadership style or styles. The purpose of the speech is for Hannah to share the aspects of her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. She has 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, Agent Baron.
Thank you, Agent D. Thank you, Agent D. Toastmasters and guests, Hannah Schmidt, Leaders. Over to you.
Leaders is about unlocking people's potential to improve. Bill Bradley said that. And the exemplary traits of a great leader, especially in Leaders in Black, is to stand out in the universe. Yet, if we fail or if we fall into the chicken syndrome, running around like one aimlessly, picking here, picking there, we'll never become effective leaders, even if we all have that exemplary trait of a great leader. Mr. Toastmaster, let me tell you about my journey as a lady leader in Black. I never aspired to be a leader. I simply wanted to go with the flow. It's so much easier just to take that path until I realized leadership fosters greater responsibility, greater ownership. Curious and a bit anxious, I embarked on my journey. I found leaders to help and support me. Agent B and my close friend Jessica recognized my stubbornness and my struggle for validation, along with my desire to become a leader. After a thorough conversation with Jessica, she invited me to join Toastmasters, and I took that leap. Fast forward. Toastmasters International, they supply you or has a test, offers you a test where you can find your leadership competency. And the results for me, well, I anticipated a reply like autocratic leadership. Do as I say. This style is characterized by a high degree of control and authority. Well, that was me. Or the pacesetter one. Do as I say. Do as I do. Set the pace for performance and expectations, which can easily lead to stress and burnout. That was me. I was taken aback to discover my score that showed coaching leadership, closely followed by servant leadership. Is this the result of this strong-willed, impulsive Hannah who constantly seeks validation? Joining Toastmasters has greatly helped me channel my enthusiasm more effectively. At times, the pacesetter syndrome still comes out, and I set the bar too high for members and questioned why they got stressed, why they got overwhelmed. And I realized that with integrity, respect, service, and excellence had far greater results, and it had an impact on them. It was a significant adjustment for me to embrace being both a coaching and servant leader, while also being guided through coaching and mentoring. Yet, this experience has truly brought out the best in me, making me more open to learning and eager to share my knowledge with the world beyond Toastmasters. Another fast forward. I joined the Old Wheelers Club. And they have vintage automobiles from different planets. And I helped organize their outings. This experience allowed me to excel and showcase what leadership has taught me. Everything I have learned in leadership, I exposed there. I was excited about the challenge to organize the next Outwheeler vintage outing. Embracing the responsibility motivated me, and I seized the opportunity with my coaching and my servant skills to the test. With a new team of inexperienced marshals, it was crucial to inspire them, to encourage them, to motivate them, while also raising their self-awareness. I coached my timekeepers, my marshals, and especially our scorekeepers. Thanks to the competency test offered by Toastmasters International, I now understand my leadership style, coaching and servant leadership. And according to Bill Bradley, as a lady leader in black, my potential is now unlocked. Like the proverbial leaders in black, leaders of leadership speak, let us rise and take the charge. Let us be the change. Let us be the transformation. And for this, let us join the circle of those leaders in black to be the supreme commanders of this club, of the universe, called Leadership Speak. Yours truly, Agent H. Mr. Toastmaster.
It's very clear to see that Agent H is from another world, a leader from another world. Our next speaker is a leader who, rather than taking us to another world, is going to take us to another dimension on a board game. His speech is going to be our life as from the perspective of a snakes and ladders game, and that is Agent P, Paramjit, who will be evaluated by Agent S, and that is Toastmaster Sandra, the Queen of Compassionate Strategy. Over to you to share the objectives of Agent P's speech.
Thank you, Baran. And welcome, Paramjit. Today you're doing a keynote engaging humor. That's from level 5, elective 1, I guess it is. You will be presenting an engaging, humorous keynote style speech that also delivers a strong core message. We'll be looking for that strong core message. And you're going to demonstrate excellent presentation skills, of course, and deliver compelling content, maybe using some visual aids, and we'll see if you do, if they fit the speech and your style. Back to you, Baran.
Thank you. Toastmasters and guests, Agent H, the funniest agent we have, with a speech titled Never Quit the Game, Paramjit Singh. Paramjit Singh, Never Quit the Game.
Hello, everyone. Men in black and silent WO, men in black. Thank you very much for stepping up as the agents of change and the most dashing agents with their almost black sunglasses and lasers. I know you are going to win over the aliens. I know that you are the agents of change. I'm really not understood. I really don't know why these aliens doesn't have a good sense of fashion. They just come without any dress. Even I'm really worried about their visas. Who gave them the visas to come on the earth? But when I first time saw the men in black, oh, I thought it is just an extended version of a role-playing game with more aliens and less saving points. I am not very much enthusiastic about playing RPG games. And my relationship with them is as my membership of a gym, where I am very enthusiastic in the beginning and ends up eating biryani, watching TV, and increasing my weight. Now, it's very difficult to maintain that way. In such a case, there was nothing else than playing the boring board games. And the one boring, but not boring, but unpredictable game I used to play with my grandfather and with the parents on the weekends, because there was no TVs available at that time, was snakes and ladders. Just snake and ladder. I hope you must have also played the same game, enjoyed the same game. Please raise your hand if you have played these games. For those who have not played these games, I would like to remind and tell them that it's a game of board, 100 numbers. You play with the dice, you start with 6, you have up to 100, you have different snakes and different ladders. As soon as you get some marks, you will reach the mouth of the snake, you get down. And when you get the ladder, you go up. and you must reach 100 to win the game. Any of you is still playing that game? Please raise your hand. My God. Thank you very much, Jyothi, Alina. But all those who has not raised your hand, they are also rolling the dice daily in their daily life. It is not about the game. Just imagine that you are having a board in front of you, and every square represents the moments of your life, your hard work, your decisions, your motivation, your achievements, and the lesson you learned, like don't go on the ladder when your boss is holding the ladder. And lot of other lessons what we learn. It is just like our snakes and ladder in our daily real life. However, the catch is the dice. We don't know when we roll the dice where it is going to be. It's going to be 6, it's going to be 1. When you get a jackpot, you are so happy and you roll up. But as soon as you get a snake, you come down. And this is our game of life. We want to get the ladders, but sometimes we feel a little cozy to be with the snake, but don't want, trust me, nobody wants to go to the belly of a snake. And this game is really, we are playing on our life on the daily basis. Life is a game of snakes and ladders. And most of us, it's an unpredictable life, never ending, unpredictable life, game of life. And we all feel, sometimes we are at the top of the ladder, sometimes we go down. As we go down, we still start playing again. We play it again. But if all of you have a complaint that you have got more snakes in your life, just let me share with you the story of Muniba Mazari, the Iron Lady of Pakistan. She is a well-known motivational speaker today. However, she was really very good life. She was a kid who was always getting 6 and 6 and getting a jackpot, moving from one ladder to another ladder. She was doing a great life. She wanted to be an artist. However, big snake, I think I will call it python, hated her life. As she was going on a car in 2022, and at the age of 27, she met with an accident where she was left paralytic below her belt level, and she is moving on the wheelchair. All her dreams came down with that particular one snake, and she touched the bottom. In such a scenario, when a snake bites us, we will suddenly be weeping, sulking, or complaining that this dice was not proper. However, she took the courage and said, let me see where is my next ladder. If I was there, I would have been sleeping down and saying, don't disturb me for next 1 month. But she challenged the snake, let us play. She didn't quit the game. And this is from where the magic begins. She started getting up to the ladder. And today, she is a very good painter, a motivational speaker, a TV host, and one of the first Pakistani to be Goodwill Ambassador of United Nations. It was very easy for her to be at home, confined to the chair, but she didn't confine to the chair, but use it as a throne. With her confidence, with her hard work, and without thinking of snakes, she moved on to the ladder, Most of us would have said, thank you very much, and be in the chair. But she used the same chair for getting up and motivating the people all over the world. My dear friends, she's not the only one. There are a lot of among you have been bitten by the snakes, but has got the ladders in life. We have so many big examples of Lucy Hay, of Farah Winfrey. We have Pharaoh. So everybody has in life a snakes and ladder because it's a continuous going on life. However, when I feel this game is not just a game, this is basically gives us a lot of lessons of life. I always call it like a life coach in a board. It gives us so many lessons of life. The number one is the dice is unpredictable. We all know how many we try best to rise up. We really don't know when the dice will follow, what the dice will give the number. Same with our lives. And sometimes you are waiting for a 6 and you got a 1. It is same like being a vegetarian. You have ordered a veg biryani, but you got a chicken biryani to be handed over to our president, Toastmaster Bram. Again, it's something like, again, when you are just being promoted, and Matthew got the promotion because he is doing barbecue for the boss, for the fishers. And he is my boss now. Actually, the point is not that where the dice lands. The point is, how do you react when somebody steals your ladder, when somebody put you into another snake? That is something very important. Number 2, there are snakes everywhere. If you feel that you are going to live without snakes, it's the biggest illusion. If you just saw behind my screen before, if you see at the very beginning, the snakes are very small. But as you go up, you are having a bigger snakes because you get experience to handle these snakes. It doesn't mean that you live in between. All of you have played the game. When you were bitten by a snake at 98, did you play the next time or you just stopped? How many of you stopped at 98? No, we came back to 2. Again, we wanted to play and win the game. So never quit the game. Number 3, the ladders are good, but temporary. For all of us, we have different life patterns. We move on different ladders, we go up, and we enjoy, like, we got a $20, we enjoy the $20, but we know that these $20 are going to finish. It's like a 1% of the battery life. You don't know it's going to finish. However, we still feel that it's going to work us. I remember when I was playing, when somebody was at the top, I was still thinking I'm at the bottom, but I will go again up. This is how I used to play. And we play the same game, but unfortunately, we have forgotten in our daily lives the same game. Number 4 is enjoy small wins. I remember when I was just moving up and there was somebody just going ahead of me, and I just got marks. I was just, oh my God, I'm winner because I'm going ahead. In this case, now when somebody going ahead, we fight with him in our daily lives. Actually, we should be even a small progress made and avoiding sometimes the snakes. Not avoiding, but sometimes you will not be slow and slow that study you progress. And that is how you enjoy those temporary moments. That is very important. And the last, never quit the game. The game is never over. The game is only over when you quit it. Until the time you are playing, the game is never over. You are moving ahead. You should understand that next ladder is not a marathon. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So be continuous, be perseverance, move on, play. The game is never over until you quit. So whenever you are bitten by a snake, just think there's another ladder lying there. So continue unless you reach the 100, your ultimate target. May I pray for all of you. You have long ladders and small snakes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Toastmasters, and you only lose when you quit. The game is never over. Agent P just carried it away. And in that same breath, we are going to have Agent, just a second, Agent L. And that's none other than Agent Lydiah, Wanjiku. And as far as being an agent of change, she said, as a leader, there is so much that is changing. We have to keep ourselves abreast of the changes in order to be active. Agent L is going to be evaluated by Agent J, Toastmaster John Ojefo, who will now share the objectives of Agent L's presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters. Lydiah will be speaking from Dynamic Leadership Part, Level 2, Level 2, Project number 1. And the purpose of this project is for Lydiah to identify her primary leadership skill. The purpose of her speech is to share some aspects of our primary leadership speak, or to discuss leadership in general. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Agent J. Toastmasters and guests, join me in welcoming Agent L, Lydiah, Wanjiku, with a speech titled Dark Walking Script. Dark Walking Script, Lydiah, Wanjiku.
Agents of change, I'm going to take you through a story. Jackie, if you continue writing with your left hand, I'm going to chop off that left hand. Those were the words of a harsh teacher back, many years back in primary school. And Jackie was very worried. And the teacher kept on telling Jackie, your writing is like a duck writing a script. Alice was just seated next to Jackie, noted that Jack was always crying when the teacher for handwriting came to class because she was always being accused by the teacher. So Alice offered to take through Jackie during break time to improve her handwriting. At that particular time, Alice used democratic leadership style, while the teacher had used authoritative leadership style. On the other hand, we had John. John had the best handwriting. John again sympathized with Jackie and told Jackie, you know what, Jackie? Since I have the best handwriting, I'll give you my script. You copy, and then we will give to the teacher. That is what made Jackie to feel lively and felt she was going to achieve something. At that particular time, John used pace-setting leadership style. Our class was small, so you could hear the conversation because again, I was just in the next seat. So what I did, I called Alice and I called John and I called Jackie. Then I asked Jackie, could we just sit the three of us and then you try to write using the hand that you are feeling comfortable with? Jackie nodded and Jackie told me, thank you, Lydia. We gave it a trial and Jackie wrote using her right hand. She was perfect with the handwriting. At that particular time, Jackie opened up and she told us, you know what? In our family, we are all left-handed. When Jackie told us that, I felt touched. And at that particular time, when the bell rang, we went to class. I noted the teacher was at his best. Then I went and talked to the teacher and told the teacher, there's something I want to talk to you after the classes. Teacher told me, fine. After the classes, I told the teacher, you know what, Teacher James? Jackie has told us that in their family, they are left-handed. They are not right-handed. And that is why I think she's been struggling with the handwriting. Oh, the teacher was shocked. And the teacher called me the following day and Jackie, Alice, and John and congratulated us. And Jackie from that time was told, go ahead and use your left hand that you're comfortable with. And Jackie said, thank you, teacher. From that time henceforth, Jackie's handwriting was among the 5 best handwriting. Because at that particular time, the teacher started using democratic leadership style. Then I joined Toastmasters, where I learned their various leadership styles. I reflected backwards, and then I saw the teacher had used authoritative leadership. Alice, who the people who were supporting, used democratic leadership style, while John used pace-setting leadership style. Myself, when I came in, as a group I was able to use the innovative and a little bit of coaching. From that learning and from what I learned from Toastmasters, I have been changing my leadership style depending with the situation. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today we are leaders of change. What is the key takeaway? The key takeaway is things are changing. When we are faced with a situation, lead from the front. Try to find out what is that issue that is causing the problem to be like that. When you research further, you will be able to get to know the leadership style to use as opposed to sticking to the leadership style that you're used to, like the teacher who kept on branding Jackie with the handwriting, dark walking script. Let us be agent of change and stop branding where there are issues to be solved. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Agent L. Now we shall move to the speaker, and that is Agent M, who, when asked, the purpose of this is to inspire Toastmasters to create a personalized content strategy as far as being agents of change. Zoom Master, let's have Toastmaster Mohammed Asif, and he will be evaluated by Agent D, Toastmaster Deborah Walker. Toastmaster Deborah, please inform us of the objectives of Toastmaster Asif's speech today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Today, Agent Asif is working on the Leadership Development Path Level 1, the Writing a Speech with Purpose project. And the purpose of this is to deliver an effective, well-defined speech on a narrow enough topic. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Toastmaster Mohammed Asif, the road less traveled, crafting your content strategy. The road less traveled, crafting your content strategy, Toastmaster Asif Saiyed.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, if you were given an opportunity to travel through a road which you know by heart, you know all the steps in that road, and you know the twists and the turns, and maybe if you get an opportunity to travel through another road which you are not aware of it, which you have never traveled through it, you're not aware of those bumps and twists and turns of that road, which of the road would you be taking? Many of you might think about, why not let me travel through the road which I know of sure I would be confident enough, and I'm so sure that okay, I'll reach my destination. But what if you would dare to take a road that is less traveled? And this is dare why I'm talking about, because this is Toastmasters. Toastmasters, a safe place where you can come and experiment. In real life, you might be reluctant to try newer things because of the fear of failure. But what about Toastmasters, a place where it's a safe place for you to experiment? What do you want to experiment about? Many of the Toastmasters face this challenge of, what am I going to talk about? What are going to be my speech is about? What would the audience love to hear about? What do I love to speak about? What am I expert about? And this is the place where this crazy things goes in our head. Oh my God, what am I going to talk about? And this is where the content strategy lies in. And when I say content strategy, then strategy is a word which is quite often abused in this world of leadership. The strategy simply means adapting the measures which will give you a competitive advantage over a sustainable period. And if you have to have a sustainable competitive advantage, it simply means you got to stand out of the crowd. You got to be authentic. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses. But how can you know about it? It's a place where you can see is Toastmasters. You know your strengths. That's up to you. But when you deliver a speech over here in Toastmasters, you get a feedback. And this is where you come to know, was your strength really a strength? Was your weakness really a weakness? Maybe the things which you want to talk about, you may soundings, this is really the world requires. But when you get a feedback, you may come to know, maybe, may not be. And this all comes from experimentation. And that is the reason, my dear Toastmasters, it's all about this experimentation, which will lead you to find out your niche, to find out that content which you want to talk about, you're good at it, you love to talk about it, the world requires to hear you, and maybe the world is ready to pay you for that. This is the purpose, not only about yourself, but the purpose of Toastmasters. So don't stay in your comfort zone. And not only that, don't be in your state where you absolutely don't know what you want to talk about. Be purposeful, be intent. And this is where the magic starts. Now, believe me, in this whole process, the automation also comes in. Your best friend previously was ex-Google. Now make your friend ChatGPT. I mean, come on. Beautiful content you can derive from ChatGPT. And you can ask plethora of questions and you will get so many different answers in the content. But the spice comes when, the master chefs, they sprinkle the salt with a pinch and they know what amount of pinch of salt you need to put or that magic of spice. And this is where your knowledge, your expertise, your experience will come into place. So that will set you apart from rest all of the speakers, because this is where you will be able to share your expertise, your experience, which nobody else can take that place. One small example I want to share with you of my journey. Initial years of my life, I was too focused on processes. Later on, I got into technology. I've been a voracious speaker on processes for many, many years. Later on, I started talking about technology. Last 4 or 5 years, I understood the process and technology don't work unless until you are dealing with human beings and you understand human psychology. And this is where I started experimenting with human psychology related speeches about leadership, about conflict resolution, about finding your purpose. But me being an auditor, how can I put emotions? Not even a smile, because we are taught not to smile. And this is where Toastmasters came in handy. My dear fellow Toastmasters, I started experimenting and failed many a times miserably in these efforts. But every time, continuously, I kept on experimenting, and day by day, I kept on improving. And this is where I keep on developing my content around a specific area. I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses as well. And I keep experimenting with my fellow Toastmasters to hear from them, their feedback. This is where I will learn what the audiences really like about. And most probably you might think about, yeah, I can pay you for that. And that's what I'm looking for. Do let me know your feedback. That's very important for me. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Agent 8. Thank you. Delighted to hear from you. At this juncture, we are going to segue into evaluations. But before that, once again to our guests, we have a guest book that will be and has been posted in the chat all throughout the meeting. Please fill it in to share with us feedback, as well as to have the membership director reach out to you. In this meeting of transformation, it is key that we have every detail of the meeting thoroughly looked at. The first detail is going to be the time. So timer, please post the time in the chat. And once again, keep your hand up so that you can easily be seen. So please post the time in the chat. And next, the polls from the Zoom master. Please launch the polls. I urge you all, and this is to members of Leadership Speak as well as the guests, to vote for the best effort speaker today. We'll have the poll running for about a minute or so, after which we shall segue into a general evaluation session. Perfect. While the poll keeps running, I would like to invite our general evaluator, and that is none other than Agent Y. Ask me what Y stands for. Agent Youselee Joseph. Agent Youselee for the evaluation segment. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, greeting colleague Toastmasters and guests. And now it's time to know how our agents did their works today. We have several agents coming to do the job. Now it's time to get some feedback. Without no more explanation, I will call the first evaluator for today's meeting. The first evaluator is Toastmaster Nicole Miller-Douglas, who will evaluate the toast presented by Toastmaster Elena Constantine. For Toastmaster Miller-Douglas, being an agent of change means that first the agent is interested in understanding the current status of the person being assisted, then apply the best method to take them where they want to go. So when you are working for change, take people from one step to go to another step. Toastmaster Nicole Miller-Douglas, the lead is yours to present your evaluation.
Have a great meeting. That was the last thing Agent E said. I loved that. I loved that I was started off this meeting by telling me to have a great meeting. What was effective? I will go through what was effective, what you could have improved on, and conclude from there. What was effective? Your Zoom presence. You took over. I was captured by everything that you were saying. The indication of teamwork by reference to your partner. So you reference to the consultation that happens and the collaboration that happens within this Toastmasters Club. You use a prop, the gun. I never thought of that. I love that. An agent who comes with a weapon to make a difference. You're an agent of change. The content, I believe, was excellent. You demonstrated jovial seriousness from the movie Men in Black. What you could have improved on. Oh, just one more item that I wanted to say that was effective. Your key performance indicators. I love that. You have indicators. You highlighted that there were indicators that shows we're doing well. What you could improve on, yes, I know you were trying to demonstrate the Men in Black by using that dangerous voice, and you kept it at one tone. So it was somewhat monotone. I think you could have changed that. See that we wanted to infuse some fun. And probably you could have laughed a bit in it, ha, 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 or something like that to change the tone. You were definitely indicating that agents of change need to have some evidence of change, the persons they impact and the things that they do. Overall, I think this was a great toast. Congratulations and continue to do your best to be an agent of change. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nicole Miller, Agent Nicole, for this evaluation. And you presented some key element in the speech presented by, in your evaluation, about the speech presented by Toastmaster Elena, about the content, the Zoom presence, and sure, you mentioned the improvement about the vocal variety. What I found that you could also mention is that the aspect of time, because I see that the Toastmaster Elena, she didn't respect the time allotted. You can mention that as well in your doing your evaluation. Other than that, great evaluation. Thank you. And now I will call Toastmaster Sabnam Saiyed to evaluate the Toastmaster of the day, Agent Sabnam. Sorry, change for her, change is the only constant. And great leaders not only embrace change, but also are the drivers of change. Agent Sabnam, the lead is yours for your evaluation.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, President, fellow Toastmasters, guest. Good evening from my side of the world, and specifically greetings and congratulations to our TMOD. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ochola, entered the room with a smile. And there was something like, I don't know how to put it in words, but humility and groundedness in the way he started speaking. I really liked it. He explained the theme and also the connection with the background beautifully. Then later on, he went on to explain the connection of change with Men in Black, how they embody fun, and specifically how he uses gestures like fun. He opened his arms while saying fun. It just exudes confidence. Then later on, he went on to explain that how constant complaining and not having fun can reduce your productivity. Not only that, that having parties or having fun can show how you celebrate life. As far as the meeting goes, he after all the introductions, he said about the guest book. He also asked the guests, some of the guests, very intelligently. He asked, raise your hands, and he asked one or two guests to introduce themselves. Later on, he asked, also showed the timer has raised hands. Then he explained the entire layout of the theme today or the meeting today, one after another. Each and every role player and speaker was introduced beautifully. And also throughout the meeting, I think it was a remote control that he used to indicate a gun. It looked really nice. Then, well, I do have some suggestions. Although the meeting went smoothly throughout and without any hiccups, which is great, I do have some suggestions. Like in an online meeting, the audience is connected to the speakers through their speeches, and the speakers are connected by the audience through their evaluations and by the words of the TMOD. So just a little insight of the speech or some words of encouragement after the speech is over or before the speech begins for the speaker are very much appreciated. And although you do look extremely dapper in the specs that you're wearing, but I wish you would have removed your spectacles at some point, maybe with style, because it's Men in Black. Because your eyes are one of the most important tool of connection in an online meeting. So yes, with that said, very good explanation of the theme. And actually one more recommendation. You did explain your connection of Men in Black with your theme, but it was just in one or two words. We wished you could have explained a little bit more that why this theme and why change. The connection would have been even better, and the audience would also be able to connect better. So yes, in order to conclude, very good explanation of the theme. No hiccups throughout the meeting. Yes, just some eye contact and explanation of the theme and everything would have taken your journey today to another level. Over to you and all the best for future.
Thank you, Toastmaster Agent Sabnam Saiyed. I have nothing to add. Great evaluation. Congratulations for that. Now I will call the Toastmaster Claudette Thomas to evaluate the educational speaker today. For Toastmaster Thomas, for Agent Thomas, the theme is important because it reminds her of what Ralph Smedley, the founder of Toastmaster, once said: we learn best in moments of enjoyment. Agent Thomas, the lead is yours for your evaluation.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. And please excuse me if there are any internet issues. I'll try my best. So I want to thank Jyothi for an inspiring and informational speech on leaders in Black as change agents. Congratulations, Jyothi. Jyothi excelled at her attention-grabbing opening. She said, a happy place is a happening place. I felt that was original and it grabbed my attention. And she said that place shows transformation. She quoted Ralph Smedley about learning best in moments of enjoyment. And she asked the question, which again was attention grabbing: what type of change agent are you? Her content, of course, aligned with the theme throughout, and she provided several examples. She mentioned 4 types of agents of change: emotional champions, developmental strategies, intuitive adapters, and continuous improvers. She also defined of change and how leadership members in this club are specifically agents of change. And there were specific examples she provided of our club. Jyothi kept reminding us of agents of change, the meaning and the key skills we need to be agents of change: inclusivity, adaptability, and resilience. Well done. Jyothi's message resonated with me, and I hope it resonated with our Toastmasters audience and guests. It was very clear throughout, and it was compelling with the specific research and examples she provided. Microsoft, Starbucks, and there was a university who did a research that was in a magazine. Thank you. And this all demonstrates the credibility of any keynote address. Her delivery and engagement. There were several rhetorical questions she asked us. Her tone, her gestures, and there was some voice modulation. All engaged us. Her Zoom presence, she was centered and there was good lighting. Her takeaway message, she left us with powerful questions. Are you an emotional champion? Are you a developmental strategist? Are you an intuitive adapter? And are you a continuous improver? And she asked us, are you an agent of change? Jyothi, what you may want to consider is some more effective pauses, probably at the beginning of a point or at the end, so we can absorb your valuable and important information that you are providing to us. There was a lot for us to intake. Also, you asked about twice something about put something in the chat box, but I don't know if you checked to see what was in the chat box, because it's always good to make reference to that. To summarize, Jyothi, excel at the research, content, structure, the takeaway. Overall, Jyothi, thank you for your inspiring and impactful speech as change agents. What type of agent are we? Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Agent Thomas. Thank you for this evaluation. Great evaluation. You mentioned many important key points in this evaluation. Congratulations for that. The only thing that I want to add regarding the evaluation, you could mention as well the way that the speaker was asking some questions during the presentation, like when a speaker is asking a question, how many of you Usually it's not none of us in the audience. You could mention that and bring some other aspect, some way like encourage the speaker to ask more direct question so that the audience could be more engaged regarding the question that the speaker has to ask to the audience. Other than that, congratulations for your evaluation. The next one I will call is Toastmaster Dan Odero, Agent Dan Odero, to evaluate the speech presented by Toastmaster Hannah Schmidt. For Dan, as a leader, being a change agent is important in building great rapport within the team and ensuring that some fun is a part of all we do. Agent Dan Odero, the lead is yours.
Thank you, Agent Y. And thank you, Hannah, for your speech on leadership and what leadership is. Great beginning. Your Zoom presence is always great. And the opening on the way people view leadership, it was very nice. How we perceive leadership. So you gave a bit of a view there, and then move straight into the body where you talked about your own style before Toastmasters at the Toastmasters Club, the things that you learned, very well stated, and Toastmasters and leadership. You're speaking of the subject. Using the theme was great because then that helped us also view it. The theme is clear, and back there, the agents you're talking about, how leadership actually helps. That was great. Your gestures were also made it effective, and you did well with that. Some areas that I would probably encourage you to maybe want to work on, use some pauses, because you went on and sometimes you jumped quite quickly, but if you paused, then we get to internalize the lessons that you're passing on. What are the lessons we learned there? Then the different styles and how these different styles, how they apply to you. You talked about the questionnaire, very good. And what styles you came up with. You are a coaching and servant leadership. Maybe some examples will make it more stick much more. And then challenge yourself as you're going towards the end to restate some of the points there, identify them again and how they've actually worked. A call of action could also help because your speech is about getting the audience to also probably look at how does this leadership style, how does it apply to me? What can I learn from it? What can I apply? So challenge them also with that. But all, in summary, a very good speech, very well started. What is leadership? Covered very well. The style that what your actual style is. Think about maybe some pauses in there to make the emphasis greater. And then also summarize. Give us the points that you would like to take away and what call of action you would like us to also consider. Thank you for that, Hannah, and back to you, Madam Toast General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dan Odero, for this evaluation. I have nothing to add regarding your evaluation. Congratulations for that. Now I will call the next evaluator, Toastmaster Agent Sandra Vox, to evaluate the speech presented by Agent Paramjit. For Sandra, even as the compassionate queen of straight talk, she had learned the importance of leading with a light head, yet purposeful manner. She has come to celebrate that even in serious leadership, there's room indeed, a great needs for enjoyment. Agent Sandra, the lead is yours for your evaluation.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's a great topic today. I'm enjoying the whole idea of looking at being agent of change and having some fun. Too often we're just very serious. And Paramjit, I am so honored to have you to evaluate today. Thank you so much. You're always courageous in receiving what I have to say. I must say you were looking very dapper with your black turban as well, quite distinctive from the rest of just the black shirts that we have on. I absolutely loved the analogy of snakes and ladders, or chutes and ladders. Changing that over into analogy for our life. And you certainly went through life with a lot of examples. You had a thinking face when it was time, and you had a questioning face when it was time. And you know me, I like to see a smile when it's time, and that is still your struggle. I had a little smile from you at the very end, where you were going to pray for us to have some joy. But I would really challenge you to really just, even if you have to sit in a chair and go, ho, 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 until you have so much fun that you're just a belly laugh. And that's going to encourage a natural smile, because I know you. And you've got that joy inside you, that service leadership, which I know is what you do. And you could bring that up, because in all of your speeches, you create content that is really valuable for us. You create content that makes us think, and you deliver it and reach out to us. You've gotten over the fear of who you thought you had to be, and you're just being you. But I do invite having some fun. And you had a lovely variety of pace, very enthusiastic in the beginning, and then you would slow down. That's powerful. Your movements were natural. They weren't filling up anything, like we like to pump, you didn't have that. Your body gestures are now controlled by what it is that you're having to say. And it's very natural. The analogy of life, like rolling those dice in those quantum, you had actually a voice that went, and then the down. You could really emphasize those, because when we go down, down, down into the belly of the beast, the belly of the snake, there's a really heavy place to be. So you have a chance to get more extreme in the ups and downs. I love that you had very limited PowerPoint today, so that we got to enjoy you. I would say just you had the serious lady in the wheelchair. That was a serious story. You might take a child jumping in the puddle, and how excited he is till he falls down and gets a whumping for getting dirty, whatever. Anyhow, overall, I really enjoyed the analogy. I enjoyed your fun in delivering it. I would look for a little more humor that would be there for us. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Agent Sandra. I have nothing to add to this evaluation. Thank you for your evaluation. Now I will call those Agent John to evaluate the speech presented by Agent Lydiah Wanjiku. For John, the theme is important because agents of change are critical for a group of organizations to evolve, grow, and progress. Being an agent of change helps him to evolve, grow, and become a better leader. Agent John, the lead is yours for your evaluation.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Hello, fellow Toastmasters, guests and visitors, and especially Lydiah, Agent Lydiah Wanjiku. Thank you for sharing your leadership, your primary leadership style with us, and for discussing some aspects of various leadership styles in general. There are several things that I like about your speech, and I'm going to tell you 3 of those things. The very first thing is your opening. You opened that speech very well with a very shocking story by saying what the teacher said, that I will chop off your hand if you continue to write with that dog walking script. However, you did not limit us there. You brought us the mood, because at the end of the story, it was the happiest ending, because the lady was able to, and you were able to teach her how to exemplify a particular leadership style that will enhance the purpose. I also liked the structure in which you transition from one to the from one stage to the other, as well as the content. You are a good storyteller. I appreciate that. And finally, your take-home message in which you advised us or recommended us that things are changing, that we should be leading from the front and to look at the situation and adapt our leadership style to the situation. So there are a couple of areas that I would like you to consider. The first is the fact that I would have preferably removed your dark glasses and put on something that I can see your face so that I can see your emotions in the way you demonstrated those interactions and your emotion, as well as what the lady and others were feeling. Secondly, is the fact that I did not really see, because the part you are trying to share some aspects of leadership styles. Apart from that of the authoritative, I didn't really see the link between the democratic. I don't know whether just inviting somebody and helping them is democratic, or the pace setting, or the innovative aspects. I would have loved to hear more about that. Secondly, is your gestures. I would have loved to have more purposeful gestures. And finally, your conclusion. Your conclusion seems, for me, was a little bit distant from the title, which was Dog Walking Script. I could have been something you might want to consider finding a title or something that is more relatable when giving your story, when giving your conclusion. All in all, I enjoyed your content, your opening, your structure. You may want to consider removing your glasses when you're speaking it so that we can see your faces and your interaction with the audience. And also, you might want to consider defining or describing some aspects of those other leadership styles so that we can all know how and when to apply those appropriate leadership styles. Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you. Back to you, Madam GE.
Thank you, Agent John Ojefo. Thank you for this evaluation. You have presented several key points about the Toastmaster Wanjiku's speech, the content, the Zoom, the content, the structure of the speech, and some other aspect that she can work on for improvement. Congratulations for that. Nothing to add. And now I will call the last evaluator for today, Toastmaster Deborah, to evaluate the speech presented by Toastmaster Mohmad Asif Saiyed. Agent Deborah, for her, we learn best in moment of fun. Agent Deborah to evaluate the speech presented by Agent Mohmad.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Asif, every time I have heard you present, you come across as very real, very sincere, and very authentic. Those are great traits to have as a speaker because it makes you relatable to the audience. Well done on that. With respect to your topic and the content, you were knowledgeable about it, and you had a passion for it, which came out when you exhorted the audience a couple of times throughout your speech when you raised your voice. You believed in what it was that you were sharing. Again, very, very good. A couple minor tips to work on. Firstly would be the use of the virtual stage. You were front and center the entire time. The hand gestures were very repetitive, but you've got the width and you've got some depth to work with. I would encourage you to incorporate that so that you have more of that movement, purposeful movement during your speech. And when you open your speech, instead of saying, "Dear fellow Toastmasters," jump right in. Use a rhetorical question, use a line of dialogue, but just jump right in. No need to greet us. We already know who you are and that you are here to present to us. Now for the challenge. And I have a big one for you. I would actually challenge you to work on this speech some more. You have a good message in there, but I wasn't 100% clear on what it was. I think your encouragement to the audience was to challenge us to take a step outside of our comfort zone. That was my takeaway from it. But I think it needs to be more clear. And there's 3 ways that you can make this more clear. Firstly, is to start off with a premise. And a premise is an every can statement that the speaker knows about that drives the direction of their speech. So for example, if the takeaway in your message was for people to step out of their comfort zone, the premise would be every person can step out of their comfort zone. Then come up with a foundational phrase that supports that, and use the foundational phrase and the premise as the guidepost for your speech. Go through your speech line by line. Everything that supports the premise and the foundational phrase, leave it in. Anything that doesn't, take it out. And then the one other thing that would really strengthen this message for you, because it is a meaningful message, I know it comes from your heart, is to include an anchor. And in this case, I think if you included a personal story, dig really deep. When was a time in your life that someone challenged you to step out of your comfort zone? How did you feel in that moment? What action did you take? Was there someone who came alongside you and helped you? Those 3 things will really strengthen this message. And the challenge is for you to go deeper, be specific. The gold is in the details in your story. Again, you are very authentic, very real, good message. Use the stage a bit more and dig deeper and incorporate a premise, a foundational phrase, and a personal story. And that will strengthen this speech even more than it already is. Well done. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you to Agent Deborah. I have nothing to add in this evaluation. Now I will ask the timer of the day, Toastmaster Rose Odundo, Agent Rose, to put the time in the chat, please. While she's doing that, I ask our grammarian of the day, Agent Paola Tozer, to present the report as grammarian.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Wow, this has been a great meeting for so many wonderful words and turns of phrases. Using the word of the day in your speaking opportunities is an acquired skill that indicates confidence and mastery of the language. Utilizing effective and masterful phrasing is also a hallmark of an effective speaker and leader. Toastmaster Barron for using the word of the day in the meeting, also using words such as segue, very provocative, interesting words that make things more interesting for the listener. Toastmaster Elena for introducing the idea of KPIs to us in this way and using the term an elusive element of change, something that we all have to find, right? Jyothi for using the word of the day 4 times within her speech. This is one way that we can incorporate the word of the day when we speak, and it is a primary indicator of being prepared to speak. The quote that she used, a happy place is a happening place, as well as we aren't 7-minute Toastmasters. Very inspiring and thought-provoking. Hannah successfully illustrated the meaning of transformation in her own life, a powerful way to incorporate the word of the day through that explanation of it. I also enjoyed the concept of becoming a supreme commander. Very well done. Now her quote, leadership is about unlocking people's ability to improve. That is well done. It also is an example of her coaching and servant leadership style. Paramjit, as he utilized a unique and humorous image, provoking the picture of the fashion sense of aliens waiting in line for their visa. Very interesting. Keep that, I'll remember that image. Also, not a wheelchair, but a throne. Wonderful image. Lydiah, to stop branding students and even to do that as leaders of others or of ourselves, unless it is for an indicator of success. That is a provocative statement indeed. Mohmad, the term in real life, it is really where we are our most authentic. We have to be thinking about what it is in reality that we are conveying, to find our niche, and also to think of ourselves as an orator. Very well done. Nicole, using the term jovial seriousness. Sadna, for the intro that was given to her, the change is the only constant. This is one way that we can use our skills in our introductions as well. Also the word exudes. Claudette, another intro. We learn best in moments of enjoyment and also for using the word modulation. It just expands the vocabulary. Sandra, the compassionate queen, a powerful image. Term service leadership. Really provocative. I like that because we usually call it servant leadership, but service is one of the core values of Toastmasters. Deborah exhorted the audience, rhetorical. The gold is in the details. Awesome. As grammarian, I urge all members to consider how to masterfully integrate the word of the day into our speeches, but also into our evaluations for the next meeting, as well as in your daily interactions today, and practice diligently because practice does make progress. I'll be doing that myself. Overall, role holders and presenters offered us a polished and professional language and phrases designed to incite change within any group they are honored to lead. Well done, leadership speakers. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Agent Paola. Now it's time to present my report as General Evaluator. First of all, I want to congratulate you all, especially all the members who are participating in planning this meeting. That was an impeccable meeting, and the transformation of the club members is visible, tangible, because I see today that we are becoming greater and greater day by day. Today, it was a show. Congratulations for that, from the Toastmaster of the day to the Zoom Master, for all the members, all the role players. Congratulations. You did wonderfully. I could see in the chat that during the week, every role players, they were so excited and they were happy and everything went so smooth. And as general evaluator, I didn't even beg people to fill out the form. They did that. Everything went smoothly. Congratulations, leadership speech members. Congratulations to you because you make this happen. We had a wonderful meeting because all the members feel the need to participate, to give what they have, the best that they have, so that we can have a wonderful club and great meeting. Congratulations to all of you. And the other thing that I would like to congratulate you about is as well the good collaboration that you had during your training during all the week. Congratulations also for that. And today I would like to congratulate as well one of the speakers, Toastmaster Lydiah, because usually when you are presenting, you have difficulties with your Zoom presence. And today, it was a good transformation. You had a good Zoom presence. I really would like to highlight this because in all your presentation, usually we had to say, work on your Zoom presence, work on your Zoom presence. And today, you did it. Congratulations for that. And the transformation was visible. Congratulations for that. The Toastmaster of the day to address the guests during his introduction. That was a new thing. Usually at this meeting, that was brilliant. Congratulations as well for that. Good words of the day, good word of the day, transformation. And I want to congratulate all the speakers as well because they formed the title of the speeches. Unstoppable leaders never quit the game. Dog walking script. And Toastmaster Mohmad Asif Saiyed. Oh, sorry, I forgot to take this one. The word less travel, crafting your content strategy. Congratulations, from the title to the content of the speeches and the presentation. that was brilliant. It was all to uplift the audience, to elevate us, to give us something to work on. It was, you asked all the speakers, asked some great, encouraging, inspirational question to the audience. Congratulations for that. And we had as well effective evaluators. Congratulations to all our evaluators. What we can work on for improvement for our next meeting. First of all, I would like to encourage anyone who will become our next student at to take the lead. Even if the conversation is great, we are having fun. When you are the surgeon at take the lead 2 minutes before the meeting starts, so that you can prepare we can announce to the audience that we will start at 9:30, take the lead, and so that we can start the meeting at exactly 9:30. No matter who is talking, no matter what we are doing, take the lead 2 minutes before the meeting starts and to announce that the meeting will start in 2 minutes. And the other thing that I would like us to work on as well is the timing. Madam Timer, when you are the timer of the day, please keep the hand raised and as well the camera open. And you can come at our training session to train, to know how to play this role, or you can play it at any other places where you can, if you don't have time to come at the training session at the club and train. Anyone who will become any timer soon to train before coming to play this, because when a speaker can see the cards, it can be disturbing because they will ask, I didn't see the card. I see one of the speakers put in the chat, I couldn't see the card. So that the card can be visible no matter what device that we are using. Other end, everyone, guests, members who play the game, all of us, almost all of us have the appropriate background for today's meeting as well. Congratulations and good posture. Congratulations and thank you. I have nothing to add other than please, Mr. Zoom Master, the Zoom Master, to launch the poll for the best evaluator. Now I give back the lead to the Toastmaster of the day, Agent Baron Ochola.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Agent Y, Agent Youselee, for the very comprehensive breakdown, assessment, examination of the meeting that we just witnessed and we executed together. As the poll runs, I would like to call upon our thought of the day speaker, and that is Toastmaster Ray Rivero. Over to you, Agent Ray.
Thank you very much, Agent Baron. Timer, 2 to 3 minutes, please. What is important about leading change? It's more than just a color or wearing a suit. It's sometimes not being afraid to take that risk, to take that chance to improve upon our organization or even ourselves. What's the transformation from within us and in the team that we work with and beyond? I'm going to say a few comments from the speeches that I've heard today. From Baron, having fun while making changes. Charging forward. Elena mentioned about tying in key performance indicators with SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, timely. Leadership may not be easy, but it is supposed to be worthwhile. Jyothi Thomas mentioned about being a change and an agency of change. And that's very important to realize that as a leader, because things do not remain static. We age, we grow. The sun rises, the sun sets. We must embrace the change. And sometimes we might have to change faster than what we're comfortable with. But we learn continuously to be improving. And from Hannah, sometimes leadership is thrust upon us. Sometimes we didn't look for being a leader, but sometimes a little bit of stubbornness and persistence can get us through. And I also noticed that 2 of our speeches today came from the understanding your leadership style. That proved to be very beneficial for this meeting today. Lydiah presented a challenge, something that I'm going to carry over from Paramjit's speech about snakes and ladders. Sometimes we're challenged by snakes of all shapes and sizes, and we are trying to aim for those ladders to get us out, whether they be small or large. So we aim to be challenged by the snakes and to dig out of our situation with the ladders. Mohmad Asif mentioned about how strategy, the advantages sustained over time. It's important as a leader to be authentic. Do not be a phony. Do not be afraid to experiment, especially not to be afraid to step out of our comfort zone. We might have 1 or 2 or more types of leadership styles from the project that we're comfortable with, but maybe we might have to step in some of the others. That's a start in stepping out of our leadership style. So with words of advice, seek out those snakes to challenge you. Climb those ladders to grow and be a leader. And Deborah, you only mentioned 1 anchor of speech. I want to know about the other 4, so you owe me that at least. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray, Agent Ray Rivero, for the thought of the day. Zoom Master, 1 question to you. If you are not ready, I have sufficient time for you. You can just put the finger up, or rather PR Master, that is. PR Master, you can put your this way if it is ready. That is the certificate. But before we jump into that, I would like to share about the theme today. Today's theme was to highlight not only the movie, the inspiration from the movie is to show that we get out of our elements and pull inspiration from everywhere. Now, the movie itself is monumental because of its significance. The relationship with the other worlds, with the aliens, creatures of different worlds, as well as the relationship with the people of Earth. Should they know this information? How much should they know? How should they take this on? And that, and this, and that. And as you heard our leadership speaker addressing earlier on, we have to be agents of change. I just want to share 3 quick points that I grabbed from the movie that are inspiration to each of us, can be inspiration to each of us. The first one is embracing the unknown. Embracing the unknown is us as leaders being open to new opportunities. The second is the importance of teamwork. As you know, in the movie, Agent K and Agent J, of which we have a few Agent Ks and Js in the room today, work together to fit into each other's strengths. And where one had a weakness, there was another to cover up. And that is what we as leaders need to embody. Teamwork. Finally, staying calm under pressure. The last thing anybody wants to see is a leader in panic mode, right? As leaders, we have to understand how to stay calm under pressure and be able to deal with the situations deal with the change that is happening, and lead the change. With that being said, I would like to appreciate, I do appreciate the timer, the grammarian, the role takers, all the role takers, the Zoom master, PR master, and the role takers outside of the meeting setting who helped to set up the meeting, like Toastmaster Karin. Thank you so much for pulling off an amazing meeting today. We continue to be leaders in Black, agents of change. At this juncture, PR Master, are we ready? Absolutely, sounds like we are ready. So for the best speaker, best effort speaker, and best effort evaluator, we can share the screen for us to find out who took that home today. Right. Our best effort speaker today is Toastmaster Paramjit, who delivered a speech, Never Quit the Game. Thank you, Toastmaster Paramjit. A round of applause to you. And now I will take this off because my evaluator advised. And finally, the best effort evaluator is Toastmaster Deborah Walker. Thank you so much for the wonderful evaluation that you delivered. As leaders, let us continue to excel. Let us not lose sight of the big picture. Let us remember, as Ralph Smedley said, we learn. Over to Agent B, Toastmaster Bram, our president, to interact with our guests. Guests, please open your videos such that we can spotlight you and you'll have a good interaction with the president. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Baron. Thank you, everyone, for having fun today and taking that from the movie Men in Black. We do this every year, and it's just going into the fall season in fun. Now, for the guests, ladies and gentlemen, you would realize something. Our club is called Leadership Speak and not Leadership Speaks. And what is the difference between Leadership Speak and Leadership Speaks? While we are Leadership Speak, it means it is effectively a platform, a method, or a specific dialogue or style. It's a noun. This is how we use it. And so as in Leadership Speak, you can do any speech that is something that will give you a foothold into the real world. We want speeches that you can take into the real world instantaneously and be able to speak in the real world. We don't want Toastmaster type of speeches here because we are an advanced club. So we are using Leadership Speak as a noun. Leadership Speaks would be a verb, which is, of course, conveying principles of leadership, and we would only be talking about leadership, but that is not the case. All right. So having said that, I see that I've been conversing with Fabian over the WhatsApp currently. Is Fabian here? Mr. Zoom Master? If not, well, I move on. Fabian is here. Fabian, if you can put on your video.
Yes, I'm here.
Fabian, hi. Hey,
Hi,
Fabian.
good morning.
Hi. Good to have you. So you're from Guyana, Fabian, and how are you doing?
Yes, I'm from Guyana. I'm going great.
Awesome. And you are interested in joining our club, I believe it's what you were saying.
Yes, I am.
Good. Okay. How did you find our meeting today?
Unfortunately, I was unable to join at 9:30, but I was able to listen to the evaluation for the prepared speeches, and I really like the evaluation. It was really good, and you did not sugarcoat anything. The evaluators were very to the point, and I believe that the speakers would be able to benefit from that because it will help them enhance their speeches. So that is what I really enjoyed.
Yes, you will find more advanced stuff in our club, and that's perhaps why you wanted to join and you wanted to find out about other things that I do, like for example, my slides and how I use slides and all that. So we will have a conversation about that. Now that we are connected on WhatsApp, I will connect with you a bit later, and we can take the conversation further. Thank you for coming, Fabian, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Now, my good friend here, Sue Story, who is from District 86. Correct me. Is it London? Where are you, Strathroy, Sue?
London.
London. London, Ontario. Of course, ladies and gentlemen. Sue, how did you find our meeting?
I found it really good value. There's a lot of evaluation, and that's what I've always liked in an advanced club. I think it's for many of us, our home clubs, that's where we support other people, but the advanced clubs, that's where we feed ourselves. And this was a really good morning. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I can see that you've signed the guest book and you said, no, you're not interested in a membership. So I get it.
Not today, but
not today, of course. Please keep coming back as many times as you like, by the way, Sue. And you can transfer anything you learn here into your clubs.
Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, Mr. Story is here as well. Rick?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. How are you, Rick?
Very good, thank you.
And your comments about the meeting?
Please come. We've been meaning to come for a long time, so this is great. We belong to two advanced clubs in London, and we'll bring back some of your what you do to them, and hopefully bring them up to your standards.
Absolutely, and we are here to help any club globally at any time. If you wish any help from any of our members, please do keep coming back, Rick, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for being here. Now, Wesleyan Walters. Hello, Wesleyan. All right, she's probably stepped away from her computer. We already spoke to Marlene earlier. Now, who else can I see here? That is a guest. Okay. Oh, hey, there is Wesleyan. Hey, Wesleyan, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you.
And your comments about the meeting?
Yes, I enjoyed the meeting today on the topic of change. And this is a topic I liked. And I recently did something about change. And I remember one of the quotes that was used during the meeting was from Leo Tolstoy that says, "Life is lived when tiny changes are made or occur." And it came out this evening today about being change agents. And as we live our lives, there are so many changes in so many different aspects because it comes naturally. It comes on the account of someone else, and we make our own change. So at least I love the topic because
awesome.
We are evolving every moment, and we are not stagnant. Life is not stagnant. And you brought it out today that we have to be agents of change, constant agents of change. So I love the meeting. I loved everything about it. I love the speech from the gentleman with the turban. I can't remember his name.
Paramjit.
I loved it when he used the snake and ladder analogy, sorry. And even the lady that he brought in on our picture, I followed her a few times.
Oh, great.
I loved everything about the meeting. Well done.
So would you like to take?
Yes, I'll keep on following. So when my time comes to join, I shouldn't have any problem. But I'll keep on following.
Wesleyan, if you would like to take your speaking or evaluation to the next level, you could join Leadership Speak. So let me know when you do.
Yes, I will let you know. I will let you know. So thanks again for the accommodation.
Please come and visit us as many times as you like.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wesleyan. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much. And one last guest, if I can see anybody else. Tesang or Tess Chewengia? Are you there?
Yes, I am, Toastmaster. Thank you so much.
If you can put on your video, that'd be great.
Let me try and do that, yes. This is my first attendance of an advanced club, and I have quite enjoyed it. I have heard that you have invited the other guests to come back, and I will do the same. I enjoyed the theme of the day and all the speeches that were related to leadership and change, and the role that leaders play or can play during such change. I have enjoyed the meeting, and
Wonderful.
it's a good time as well for me in South Africa where I am. The meeting started at 3:30 in the afternoon. So I can definitely join future meetings as well.
Super.
I will, if possible, play a role as well so that I'm not just a spectator in the meeting. Thank you.
Well, to play a role in our meetings, you have to be a member. So, and
I have to be a member. Okay.
Of course, yes.
Okay. All right.
Would you like to be a
I
member?
think I am already a member of a club. If I do become a member, it will mean dual membership, which is something I have to think about.
Sure. If you can fill in our guest book, and we'll keep in touch until you are ready.
I have done that. Yes. Thank you
Oh,
so
wonderful.
much.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ntesang.
Thank you very much. And with that,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen, I think we've gone through the guests that were here and who were able to talk to us. As well as, this is the last meeting in September, and October is next meeting is in October. There's always a turnover and attrition happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a bit of attrition. Most members who are in attrition were not active as such or not as engaged in the club. And we will have new members joining in. Quite a number of new members are joining in as well to replace the attrition. That's the reality of Toastmasters. We don't have 100%. Those who've been in Toastmasters a long time or a number of years, you understand the attrition part, right? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will pass this on back to our boss, Baron. Over to you, Judge.
Thank you, President. It has been a delightful experience, and I think at this point, I'll take off my glasses. Now, if anybody needs final context, the reason why we have glasses in Men in Black is when we need to make you forget something, we should not forget it ourselves as well. With that being said, consider this meeting adjourned. See you all next Saturday. Thank you.
You could always ask for the recording to be stopped.
Yes, Zoom Master.